So I just came back from a trip yesterday. I was at my grandma's place, like a few hundred kilometers away from home. And during that time, we were there for a week. During that time, I explored a whole bunch, right? Like I I walked a lot, I explored a lot because that's what I do, and that's what I preach on my channel. But I was walking in the forest, and then some guy entered into the forest as well, right? And I thought to myself, like, whatever. But what I noticed, the guy was in front of me, right? I was like 20 meters behind him. So what I noticed is that that guy would look over his shoulder at me every 10 seconds, maybe. And I just thought to myself, wow, this guy must think I'm a psychopath or something, right? And this led me to a realization that you shouldn't really be afraid of strangers, right? Like people are so afraid of others. We're so afraid of people we don't know, but in reality, we'll more likely get seriously hurt by a relative actually. It's a curious point. There are some studies that prove that indeed you are actually more likely to get hurt, like kidnapped, assaulted, whatever, by a relative. Yeah, I was walking in the forest, I was just minding my own business, and that guy was just looking over his shoulder, very anxious, very scared of me. If I talked to him, he would have probably like jumped, right? And that guy was like twice my age and my height as well, right? Maybe if you're a petite woman or a short guy who's not really muscular, then maybe maybe it's different. But even then, it's not really different because that guy like is just as scared of you as you are of him. Of course, there's also just reading body language, like if the guy's shady, not just by his looks, but by the way he walks. Maybe he stares at you too much. If he's ugly, then he's probably could leave. But in all seriousness, you really don't have to worry as much as you think you do. Like me personally, I'm 6 feet tall, I'm muscular, so I don't really have to worry about it too much, right? Like I walk with confidence, so I'm not really going to get assaulted. At least it's less likely than like short women or like small people. I'm not saying this to make fun of you, but I'm just saying that the realities are different. But even if the realities are different, it doesn't mean that suddenly you shouldn't be alone, that suddenly you should have someone with you at all times. That's just not the case. And this leads back to a message that I preach every single time on my channel. And it's don't be scared of adventuring. Explore, go into places that you haven't been in before. Don't be scared of walking around the forest with a backpack on and a smile on your face and some people looking at you weird because they will look at you weird because it's not common to find someone who's genuinely happy and has a smile on their face as they explore stuff. But we want to just be outside most of the time because if you're just inside, then you're not going to discover your purpose. You're not going to live your life to the fullest. Your mental health, social health, spiritual health, physical health is going to suffer. Every single thing in your life is going to suffer if you're not outside. Because people always say that our ancestors were very healthy, which is true. Guess why they're healthy? Because they were outside all the time. Like they even slept outside most of the time. So we want to just be out there all day, every day. Like, of course, you need to eat whatever, but 2 to 3 hours is a good goal to get. 2 to 3 hours a day. It's a good goal to get. Getting a job that requires you to be outside is also not a bad choice. I I will not lie. It's going to get you more out of your comfort zone, and when you're faced with discomfort, you're going to grow, right? Maybe become a fucking Glovo driver or whatever, and get a bike and just drive around. That's not a bad idea. Like then night shifts get sketchy, but You don't need that. Maybe get some other job which requires you to be outside. There's tons of jobs that do that. And it can really just working inside versus outside will be a big difference. You may not notice it, but if you're mindful enough, if you meditate regularly, if you gratitude journal, then you're going to be able to notice it. That's my message for today. I don't really have anything else to say to you. It's just that go outside, don't be scared of strangers. They're just as scared of you as you are of them. Sleep well, do better. Find your passion, purpose, be outside, and see ya.